All right, welcome back to Burning Rubber Garage. Today we are working on the Go Kart again. We're going to do some very basic maintenance on it. We are going to adjust the brakes, put a new spark plug in, change out the air filter, and put the belt on. Other than that, I'm not sure what else we'll do. I'm sure there's other things we will do. Let's go ahead and get started with the spark plug. All right, so the spark plug is a very simple change. What you may have to do if it's not a common engine or you're not familiar with it, pull this guy off. You're going to take a little pressure, pop it off, and you're going to get your socket. The nice thing about the socket one, I don't know if you can see in there, is the rubber. You stick it down in there, get it over it. This one wasn't in very good. That could be half of our issues, but that's why you kind of want to go over stuff, is just to see. So now look at this, it's in there, the rubber holds it from falling out. This isn't such a big deal on this, but if you're working on the car and you're not using this and you're just using a 13/16, it could fall out. So with that here, you'll want to take this, either take a picture of that number, this one's a BPR6ES, and then you take it to the store and you can kind of check out what you've got option-wise. All right, so you can see here, that's an NGK plug. It is the BPR6ES, I believe. Yeah, so this plug right here, I've never run E3. I've always wanted to, I've just never done it. So let's go ahead and see how it runs in this cart. Put it in, same process, stick it down in, get it to go down in, and then probably thread it by hand. If you just start wrenching, you could cross thread and really screw up some stuff. It should go in rather easily. Now if your old one coming out didn't come out very easy, then you could have some other issues on your hand. You don't need to crank the crap out of this thing. You just want it in there nice and snug, tighter than when they had it. Then wiggle it like that. That'll pull it off, get it off the rubber thing. This right here, your spark plug boot, just needs to go over it and you should feel it seat or click. I heard it click. We should be good on that one. The other thing we're going to work on is just take a look at this air filter. It's just this little wing nut on top. Let's go ahead and take that off. Now I did not buy a filter because I wasn't sure which one, but as I'm looking at this, that's pretty, it looks pretty gummed up. What I do have is the filter off the Coleman. It looks like it might just be a little bit shorter, but I think we'll go ahead and put the new one on. Then if you want, replace your box, place the wing nut, and you should be good to go. So there you go, you just change the filter, you just change the plug. I bet this exhaust would work on this. It looks like it's the exact same angle and everything. I just don't know if this is a freer flowing exhaust than that one. I'm really tempted to try and cut into this one and see if we can remove the baffles and at least give it a little more noise. But we'll get there. We'll maybe touch this later. Let's go ahead and we'll switch over to the belt. All right, so we got the correct belt here. At least it's supposed to be the correct belt according to what everybody's got online. Pull this out. It's a 13 millimeter, and then you should be able to lift this off. There's your clutch right there. So this does have to go on a specific way, which is kind of awesome, but we'll get it to go right back in. Go right back there. We'll set that down right there. We're going to take the belt, put it around the back, set it right there. All right. So now on here, there's a keyhole. I don't know if you can come around here and show that. I don't know where my flashlight went. Down at the bottom, there's a keyhole, and if you look in this, you can see where it comes up. That needs to line up with it and go right over it like that. If you line them up, it's going to save you quite a bit of struggling. Then you take your nut or your bolt with your washers, put it in. Now when you turn this, it is going to want to spin it once it catches. See, it's not really wanting to turn it. I hold it with my hand. You can use vice grips. Last thing you want is your clutch coming off. And there you go. We've got the clutch done. I did put in new fuel. They have a little siphon pump at Harbor Freight. I sucked out the old fuel. Should be able to look down in there, see the new fuel. It's pretty decent. The old fuel didn't quite smell right, so we got rid of all that. Let's tackle the brakes. All right, so next up we're going to look at the brakes. The brakes are right here. This side is super loose that even when we hit the brakes, it's not engaging. This side's probably a little too tight, so we're going to have to tighten and loosen both of those. Just so I can film better, I'm going to go ahead and jack this up. I've already got off all the lug nuts but one and loosened them, so let's go ahead and take this off. These tires are pretty trash. They'll work for what we're going to do right now. So we got the lug nuts off. Tire should just slide right off. And now as you look right in here, this is what we've got going on here. There is too much gap here. So we are going to adjust this in. And to do that, we're going to have to pull that pin out. And then we can probably spin it. It's either that or you can disconnect it here, which would slide it back, and then you could spin this. Either way is what you probably want to do while you're working on that. Because look, when I'm hitting the brake over here, watch how much it's not grabbing. Is it even touching? Mm-mm. So we're not touching there. The other side is, which means you're not going to stop, which is not a good thing, especially if you're going to let kids and stuff ride on this. So we're going to adjust that. Let me grab this real quick and I'll show you what I'm doing. So what I've got here is just WD-40. I'm just going to WD-40 those up. Just any of these little bolts here. I just want it to kind of soak in there so that they'll spin easier. Alright, so what we've got here is the brake. I could not get this to spin. I had it in the vise. I tried everything I could do. Spin it. It just doesn't want to. So what I did is there's a pin that goes right here, or in this case a nail. Pull that out. It goes through this right here, and then this can just slide right out of there. I turned this all the way back so it was like that, because while it was in, and then was able to slide it past all that setup, pull it out. So with that, we bent this up, which will bring the brake up higher, and then when it hits the brake and pulls it, it'll pull it back like that, which will then lock the brake down. This is, as you can see, this is bent, so it's not going to thread in, at least not very far if it does thread. So with that being said there, I'm going to go ahead and get this reassembled and see how it works. May have to pull it out, try it a few times. If you're lucky and your go-kart hasn't been all rusty and stuff, you'll just be able to grab this, spin it in, and call it good. People can see it really good. Alright, so I took my vise off the table here. I'm just going to soak it with a little WD. I've already done it a couple times. I've got channel locks here. Those of you that don't know how to use these, you'll take this and you'll adjust it like that. The goal of this is to get them on and have them lock in place so that they don't move. And then I'm just going to take this. It's not easy. Take it one turn around. Soak it again. Alright, so what you're looking to do here, I've just grabbed a nail. I'm going to set it down in there like that. This guy is now here. I've tweaked that a little bit, unfortunately, but we'll still make it work. Grab this, put it around, slide it over there. And we need to bring this up here. There you go. Alright, so we may have gone too far, which is, it's not a bad thing. Go ahead and push the brakes. So, oh yeah, we got a brake working over here. We're going to go check the other side. This project has been a, man, I tell you, when you look at a go-kart and it's rusty, plan on using a lot of WD-40, a lot of muscle. We use this, we use that vise right there. You're going to have to take into account. Another thing you might want to think about, because I'm already thinking this go-kart might not have enough power for what I want. I think flat ground will be fine. Probably hauling her up a hill, probably be fine, but hauling a full-size adult up a hill, I don't know. I might have to switch up the torque converter, change out this sprocket. We'll look into that stuff. I mean, this is going to be a project. I didn't expect to finish it overnight, but we're going to go ahead, get back on these brakes. So right there, you've got the hole right there. I'll get something to put through there, and we should be good on this. So one thing you want to learn to do is do a cross pattern. I'm just going to kind of show you. So if I'm going on this one here, I'm going to go across to this one, then I'm going to go to this one. You kind of want to do a star pattern. It's something you want to do on your other vehicles. It just helps distribute it unevenly. So I just did it like that, and then what I'll do is I'll set the go-kart down so it has the weight on it, have her push the brakes and hold it, and then I can go through and tighten it up. So just a little tip there for you. All right, guys, so this is after we adjusted the brakes, pushing her. Go ahead and hit them. So now we have brakes, which is definitely something you're going to want to have on this, especially if you're letting your kids do it. All right, guys, here's the go-kart. We got it out. Let's go ahead and see how it does. It's hot out here. We're gonna cruise this for a little bit, probably go in, grab some water, cool off. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. The next one we'll probably work on some paint for that.